Hello friends, it's Dave here from SaveDex.
And I'm Sophie.
And we're bringing you a discussion initial review of a game called Labyrinth City, Pierre the Maze Detective, which is available on Switch, PC and mobile, but we are playing the Nintendo Switch version.
We are.
So what were your first impressions when you saw this game revealed?
So I actually saw this game on Leon's channel, I Love Indies, showcasing new indies coming out. So it kind of looked like Where's Wally to me, like a busy environment and you're looking for certain people or characters.
Very populated.
Yeah, very populated.
With sort of like a diverse cast of characters in the city.
Absolutely.
Populating it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the first time I saw it was that Indie World where they briefly showed a clip of it in that highlight reel thing, and I thought, oh, that looks pretty cool. I love the art style of it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this looks like a Sophie game because
It
you like the hidden things.
I love hidden object games.
And I sort of put it out of my mind until I realised, oh, this is coming out soon. And we bought this game. We weren't given a review code. We actually spent our own money on it.
We did.
And Sophie's put in a couple of hours into it.
Yeah.
I've put in 1 hour into it to capture footage.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just going to bring you our thoughts on the game based on that. What is this game?
Sort of a hidden object / maze game. You're moving through, I'm guessing, Labyrinth City, searching for Mr. X, who has stolen the Maze Stone. Now this game is actually based on a book called Pierre the Maze Detective, Hiro Kamigaki, and he's done a series of books. We don't know if it's the Maze Detective, the search for the stolen Maze Stone, or if it's including all of the books. We just don't know, but I certainly want to read this book now that I say read, but I certainly want to look at this book and do it like in real life from playing this game.
Definitely. I remember having some books when I was younger like this, and not necessarily just Where's Wally, but ones where there were mazes, but they were big cities. Some of them, like I remember one being undersea and things like that.
That's amazing.
So a maze thing, yes.
I get it.
And this looks like something from them. It looks like it was published in 2015, so it's not one I had as a kid.
No, yeah.
But the front cover of this Maze Detective book looks like one of the levels from the game.
It honestly makes me think of Professor Layton.
Yes, I was going to say that.
Like the art style and like the characters. I mean, obviously it's heavily inspired by like Victorian.
Yeah, it's that setting, yeah. But the one thing that got me when playing it is I assumed by looking at that highlight reel footage, which was very brief, that it was going to be you pressing to find things. Mm-hmm. But actually, no, you're a character and you're controlling them walking around
moving through the
city.
maze.
Yeah. And so it's a level-based game. I've seen 4 of the levels.
So I've seen 7 of the levels. I don't know if there's any more beyond that. I feel like there might be, because where it's leaving, I got very much lost in this last level.
Which is
that I got
the whole
on.
idea of it.
Yes.
And how it works is you have your main objective is to basically there's a series of people you need to talk to to sort of find out where this Mr. X has gone.
Yeah.
You're trying to track him down basically. And it tells you at the top how many there are, and when you meet one of them, it tells you, oh, go to this person now. But there are other collectibles you can find along the way.
Absolutely.
And how it's set out, I mean, as you can see from the footage, it's sort of like pointing down at different areas. There's people everywhere.
Yes.
And you've got to find a path that you can get through, and there'll be objects and people in your way. Mm-hmm. And there will be times where you feel like you can go somewhere, but then there'll be someone in the way.
Yeah.
And instead of just saying excuse me, you decide to double back and go the long-winded route. So it's kind of nice like that. I really do like that sort of thing.
You get to really explore every aspect of the map, and it's just amazing. I really like this game.
Yeah, I do as well. And it is just the whole charm of it.
Yeah.
I mean, graphically, it just looks like something out of Where's Wally. I'm sure the book itself looks just like this.
Yeah.
And there's just so much going on. Like, a lot of the times the people are constantly moving, or even if they're standing still, they're like bobbing up and down. There's just always things happening.
And it's like almost, it looks 3D even though it's 2D.
There's always something to discover, even if it's nothing important. Even if it's a sight gag, you might like press you press the A button to interact with things. You can hold the Y button down to sort of show where the next objective is, but it doesn't show you the exact route. And the left stick, right stick and D-pad are all to move, so you can't move the camera independently.
Yeah.
or you can't even zoom in or out as well. It's just that fixed angle, and it follows you round. Which is good because obviously it could be too easy to solve the maze if you could see the whole thing at once, I suppose. But again, what do you think about looking at this, like the size of it? Because I played it on the TV, but you played it handheld.
I played handheld because I have trouble seeing on our TV. I reckon if you have a massive TV, it might help. I found it easier to find stuff playing handheld.
Yeah, I was playing it on the TV to capture the footage, but I think I would have preferred it handheld, because then you could just hold it closer to your face.
Just right up in there.
Yeah, and so basically there's quite a lot of interesting stuff going on. Like I noticed the first level's that museum level, and like the exhibits have all come to life, it seems.
It's like Night of the Museum.
Yeah, pretty much. You got like the Vikings fighting dinosaurs and things like that, and there's quite a few references as well.
Yeah, there's like just going back to the museum thing, there's a running gag throughout the levels about like a statue rebellion, which made me really laugh. But yeah, there is like popular references. So for example, like at one point we see No Face from Spirited Away emerge from a jar.
Yeah, at one point Father Christmas came out of a chimney as well.
Yeah.
So there's quite a lot going on, lots to see, lots to do, and again, some of them are just throwaway little gags, but some of them are important because there are mini games in each level, because there's extra things to find. There's 3 stars, there's 4 letters. Are they from Mr. X?
They're from his journal.
Okay, and there's 4 treasure chests as well.
There is, yeah.
And some of them are just, you just have to go the right way to find them. And some of them, like, there's a polar bear that introduces...
Yeah, that's the puzzle.
Yeah, it's a puzzle that will get you the trophy for that stage. And it's simple things like copy the band's order of playing and popping bubbles you did at one point.
Yeah, my favourite one, I won't say it because I don't want to spoil it, but I just really, really liked it.
That's good. So yeah, and it's really...
it's creative.
Yeah, and this always brought me back to that Where's Wally feeling as well. Because in Where's Wally, you mainly have to find Wally and his friends. But if you go to the back of the book, there's all these extra objectives, all these extra things to find.
Yeah.
And I loved that they included something like that in this game. And obviously, I don't know whether
and an interactive one at that.
Yeah, I don't know whether the book itself does something like that.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. So I'm looking at the price of this game, speaking of that. This goes for $11.99, €11.99 or £10.79. There was a pre-order discount that we took advantage of.
Yeah.
Because we really like the look of it. And that's not a bad price from what we've seen of the game so far, considering that looking at the book on certain websites sells for more than that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the cheapest I've seen the book is like £8 something, but like that's a book, that's not an interactive game with the music and, you know, the movement of the characters.
Yeah, the music's outstanding and the animations are great.
Definitely.
But there's just so much detail packed into this, and again, the way the mazes are laid out, they're natural.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't feel video gamey. It just feels like a natural living place, and I'm excited to play the rest of the levels.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm excited to finally not be lost on the level I'm on.
Yeah, and so the only thing I wanted to touch upon, I don't know if you noticed this, it's the only negative I have of the game, because I'm all positive about it, is kind of like the performance of it, because I noticed the frame rate wasn't great in it. Like, there was a lot of times it would be a bit choppy, and I don't know whether that was just because of the animation style. They wanted it to be more sketchy.
I think maybe it is animation style, but there was a point where we booted it up on the TV that the control stopped working.
Yeah, I pressed the Y button to see what it did, and it showed you your next objective, and then I couldn't get out of that.
Yeah, I got stuck.
So
that never happened to me. I was absolutely fine throughout.
It didn't happen to me after that either, and I was pressing it just all the time.
So obviously it was just like a momentary blip.
Yeah, so there's just a few little things like that. I mean, I don't know how well it works on the PC, because obviously we're playing this on the Switch, but that was the only thing to point out. It's not a deal breaker by any means, and it could just be a style because of the choppy, that sort of animation style they want going for, but it's something to point out. But overall, I think this game is fantastic.
Yeah, I love this game. I'm so glad we got it.
And I honestly thought this was going to be very much a Sophie game, not really for me, but I'm really enjoying it as well. But I love mazes. I love solving mazes. And and it's just amazing how they made it into such a living, breathing world that feels natural, which makes it more fun to explore than if it was just bland walls.
Yeah.
You know, it's such a fun looking game. So like curvy, not just straight lines and things like that. It's fantastic. I'd say get this game.
Absolutely. Oh, another thing to mention is the cutscenes.
Yes, the cutscenes.
They're like cartoons and they're voice acted.
Yeah, and it's sort of comic panels.
Yes,
you go through as well, and there's full voice acting in these cutscenes as well.
Yeah.
Which is pretty damn cool.
It is.
So yeah, this has our recommendation based on our first couple of hours with the game. And so what do you guys think of this game? Let us know in the comments down below. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe to keep up with us in future videos. And all we can say now is, thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.
Goodbye.